This is my Toyota GT86 2015, and it's a Blanco special edition. I'll show you what the Blanco bits are, but the most obvious one is the pearl white colour scheme with the stripes and the decals. So grey and red were the Toyota Racing Development TRD colours in 2015, and they issued a concept car with racing livery which covered the whole car in these colours, and there's all sorts. It looks fabulous, you can find it online. That was about 2012. Then a few years later this appeared with just the stripe, the red highlights, and these down the side, based on the same colour scheme. TRD Toyota Racing colours now are black and red, but back then was the grey and red. So this gets the 19-inch wheels embossed with GT86 and special leather seats, quite a posh interior in terms of Toyota GT86, and a little plate, a numbered plate. So as with all GT86s and Subaru BRZs, it's got a 2-litre flat 4 with, I think off the top of my head, 150 pound-foot of torque and about 198 horsepower. 6-speed manual gearbox. It's quite a short throw as well, and doesn't have parking sensors. It's got a manual handbrake. It's got cruise control, but there's not many electronics, and that's why I love it. I've had a bunch of modern, I've had a Golf R, Golf GTI, I've driven all sorts of cars, but I promised myself one of these. I've driven a few press cars, GT86s and BRZs, absolutely love them. Partially because of how they look. I mean, it's an amazing looking car. By the way, those exhausts are standard. I know they don't look it, they look a bit aftermarket, but they're not. Partially because of how it looks, but also because of how it drives. It is front engined, rear wheel drive. It's not got a lot of power or torque, but it doesn't have a turbocharger. It's normally aspirated, and it revs over 7,000 RPM. And when you approach that, 3 red lights come on to say change up, and then the power drops off immediately if you go any higher than that. It's just fantastic to drive. The car comes with, I forget exactly what they are, Toyo Proxys tyres, but I recently got fitted these Goodyear, I forget what they're called, Goodyear something, which are a bit more grippy, but that's fine because I'm going to use this all year round. It's not going to sit on the drive doing nothing. I do have another car to take the dog around in, although, as you'll see in a minute, I do take the dog in this car as well. Right, so it does 0 to 60 in about 7 seconds, but it just drives amazingly. The front end stays planted, and the rear you can push around a little bit. Even with these grippy tyres on, you can push it around a little bit. It's got traction control, and you can turn it off. I don't think you can turn it off completely, but it does allow you a degree of slip. Right, let's have a look inside. So the engine, by the way, one thing worth mentioning, in terms of petrol cars, certainly, because electric cars have the weight very low down, although they are very heavy. I think the Porsche Taycan's 2.5 tons. This thing weighs 1,250 kilos, 1,250 kilos. Because it's a flat 4 engine, boxer engine, when this was launched, it had the lowest centre of gravity of any car on sale. So let's have a look inside. It's got keyless ignition. So with the Blanco, I haven't cleaned it for a while, so I do apologise. And that is for my dog. So protecting the seats. Right, so we've got this lovely leather, and do you know what, the seat's really comfy. It's not electric, it's manually adjustable. Some people don't like this. I love it. I'm going to start the engine. The dials are really, really clear. You've got a Toyota sound system. I've got this special phone holder. Well, I say special, it's designed for the GT86, so it clips on really and it stays out of the way. You can just about do the volume, which you couldn't when I first got it. I put the phone in a holder on attached to that, and you couldn't get to the volume adjust, but you can with this Broded thing that I bought. So it's got AC, it's got the basic stuff, but that's just about it. It doesn't come festooned with electronic gizmos, which is great. That's exactly what I want. Got great big engine stop start. There's no keys. Like I said, it's keyless. It's got cruise control, and that's just about your electronics. This makes absolutely no difference, although it does turn off the. Basically, it's traction control off a bit more. There's your plate, number 61 of don't know, 500 Blanco editions. Heated seats, and the driver's one's been used quite a lot, as you can see. You've got a storage thing here. It is a 2+2, so you've got rear seats, but they're a little bit useless. You basically can't have legs if you want to go in the back. I was really surprised. I hadn't driven a GT86 in about 8 years before I bought this, and I remember the interior quality and the materials being worse. They're actually really good quality. I've had Volkswagens for a few years, which is obviously very high quality interior. This is really good. Yes, that's carbon effect, it's not real carbon, but everything's solid. It feels really quite good and solid. So that's pretty much it. That's my GT86 Blanco edition. All of my cars have one of these. And I love it. Absolutely love it.